It's
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning. Welcome to Sports on the AM Club. My name is Sedinam Edmund. Hello, Meme and Jay. How do it be after a longer weekend?
We do it fine.
Wonderful.
We do it fine.
Okay.
We're good.
Good.
And how are you two?
I'm okay.
Did you receive a Valentine's Day gift?
No.
Not even chocolate?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
That's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah. I just had some emergencies I had to deal with, but nothing on the road.
Brother, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Shishi cry.
Oh.
I received.
But wait. Charlie.
Oh no, but you gave me a bottle of wine. So yeah, I received the gift.
Uh-huh.
I received the gift. Jay gave me a bottle of wine. But for that.
Charlie, do we ever learn in this country?
Why?
Nope.
We absolutely don't.
Hey.
After someone has died, another clash. I don't get it.
No, but wait, Jay. Last week when I came, I told you that something happened the day before, but I was not going to mention anything. I told you because I knew of another clash that had happened last week in the same zone that this one happened in. The same zone. It happened. And that one was even funnier than this one. When we get into the video, you see someone take something on the floor, trying to get at the official, and then the police is rather pushing the guy away. Chairman, arrest the guy. Chairman, you are hold the guy. Arrest him. Whilst we are doing 1 week, that people are crying, we are not seeing top.
I don't get it.
Then we are doing another one.
Another one is happening somewhere. We absolutely don't learn.
At this point.
First, we would have said we don't learn till the
worst happens.
Now the worst is even happening. We are still not learning.
It's motivation to do more.
It's motivation to do more.
No, maybe our threshold for the worst has now increased.
Wow.
I really don't understand this. But first of all, I really do not even understand why they are still playing the football in the first place.
Yeah, I thought.
No, it was only for the Premier League. This is Division 1.
Division 1, yeah.
Yeah. So they will carry this kind of things and bring it into the Premier League. They will carry these things and bring it. When they qualify, they come along with the same fans and the same players. Yeah. Subaina.
Anyway, let's get into it then.
Oh, don't be sad. Don't be sad. I have good news for you on off.
Good news.
Yeah. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Smile. Yeah. Because this one we've got to really deal with.
The smile is not smile. Me, yeah. I'm really raged. I don't get it.
You see,
I really don't get it.
You see, there are levels to the football administration.
So what are they doing?
That is the point. When you meet the actual bankrollers of the clubs, they speak differently, but hands under them behave differently. Football is not a life and death situation. No. No. Come on. Anyway. Look at the teams get the courage to sue the FA that no, some or the guys managing the EPL that no, this rule, that rule does not work. Then they win. Here, a club. You have the effrontery to try and sue the GFA. You don't want to play the league.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, let's get into sports. Sports is brought to you by Betway. I keep saying that early cash out, partial cash out, and auto cash out features are available on Betway. Other guys go and be using other platforms and be calling me at night. Charlie, I was waiting for one goal. I dashed one team, one goal. Jay, just yesterday, I was advising this guy, use the early. Partial is there. Do it this way. Guy says no, I won't use because I've given Inter one goal handicap. Quarter, Inter win. I said half time. This cash out money getting, it can buy fuel and buy spare parts. A lot of things. He says no. That be that. He went on. Last, Juve scored. I just said, you don't. I speak, please. It's advice from the voice about person. Just go on to betway.com.gh. Use the early cash out. Use the and set it automatically to cash out at certain points at the time. It's so difficult. Yes, it's there. Just log on and enjoy some goodies on betway.com.gh as well. Remember, the terms and conditions always apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. With Betway, you're guaranteed to constantly always get way more. Now let's get into the stories and start off from the auspices of the Minister of Sports and Recreation. Over the weekend, he made a trip to the capital city of the Ashanti region, that is Kumasi, to interact with the hierarchy of Asante Kotoko, and he stated that the perpetrators of the murder of Nana Pole, as is popularly called, would be brought to book.
Sports. We have the potential, we have the talent. That's it. Now, some which should lead to us doing something right, so that the sport now, you will understand that out of this, something good has come out.
Now we're waiting for that good to happen. However, before any advances in that said, just yesterday, Elmina Sharks player, his name is Jay Asamoah Kula. He allegedly attacked an official, and he has been charged by the FA for breaching sections 12(1)(k) of the Ghana Football Association's Disciplinary Code 2019 following a matchday 17 Access Bank Division 1 League clash between Elmina Sharks and Swedro All Blacks. Yes, so Kola is accused of physically assaulting a match official during the game. The charge comes amid scrutiny following the tragic loss of life with regards to a Ghana Premier League game at Nswatre, which has led to the suspension of the Ghana Premier League. Now, the FA have given Kola until tomorrow, February 18th, 2025, to respond to the charges, and if found guilty, could face severe disciplinary action. So we are waiting for there to be reforms in the various aspects of our football to make sure that we see growth in football. We complain that there is no sponsorship, but this Division 1 league has sponsorship. However, it also still has issues of crowd violence and hooliganism. We wish and pray that the authorities would be swift in this particular matter. Now let's turn our attention and get into the English Premier League, where the big game of the weekend was between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. Proud to the game, Tottenham Hotspur fans outside the stadium protested and want their chairman, that is Daniel Levy, out of the club. However, issues turned on the pitch. James Mason made a return from injury to sting a tail in the Red Devils' arsenal. He was the one who provided the goal to make sure Manchester United lost again for the 12th time in the EPL. It ended 1-0 in favour of the home team.
Kick-off 13th going into the weekend.
For the first time in 36 years, Tottenham Hotspur, they have done the double over Manchester United, who are languishing close to the relegation zone in the EPL. Yes, very close to the relegation zone after losing 12 games. Oof, that should hurt. Now let's cross our attention and get into the United States of America, where this weekend was all about the all-star action inside the NBA. And in the final game, Shaq's OGs, they won the first all-star mini tournament in the NBA history yesterday night, or do I say this dawn, around 4 a.m. getting 15 points from Jason Tatum and 12 from Stephen Curry. 3 of them which came from a half-court shot. The sort of highlight you would like to see in an all-star competition to beat Shaq's global stars 41-25 in the final game. Curry was also awarded MVP for his home court display.
4 points away.
It's gotten really boring. But interesting things happen. So 14 years after Blake Griffin, he jumped over the hood of a car. A gentleman decided over the top of a car. We're waiting to see who gets to jump over a truck to dunk in the NBA. It's going to be interesting going forward. Anyways, that's that as far as that is concerned with regards to sports on the M Club. My name is Sedina Medman. We were held down by Betway. Betway bringing you way more chances to win each and every time. And this time is all about having the control over your bets each time you place them, with the auto cash out feature, the partial cash out feature, and also the early cash out feature. Just log on to www.betway.com.gh. Start playing today and make sure you use these features to your benefit. Yeah, just log on. Start playing. It's Monday morning. I know you want some cash. It will help you, especially those who went to spend on chocolate.
It no concern you.
You know, get some. You see it all.
Anyways,
thank
bet
you.
where you are guaranteed to get way more.
No.
Bye-bye.
You didn't get anything.
Nah,
Yeah, clearly, because I mean, this you're hating there is just directly from there. Catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports, and business insights on ms24online.com. Now, let's take a deep dive into the world of entertainment and showbiz. Daphne is coming through with that right after this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Lovely morning to you all. Good morning, everybody. You're welcome to Entertainment News right here on the AM Club. My name is Daphne Flashley. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, wonderful lady. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
What's happening in the studio today? What's going on?
Shades of
we
blue.
did not.
Did we?
No, it's shades of blue.
It,
After this, we're going to take a
No, we need to take a
picture.
beautiful picture.
Yes, all of us are shades of blue, and then we'll definitely.
Wow, I love this. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How
Awesome.
are you?
Blessed, beautiful, and super successful.
glad.
Thank you so much for yesterday.
Oh, thank you
too. You were absolutely amazing. It was energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
What's
morning, JK. Hey, I didn't greet JK.
Ewo. Odogu silencer. I'm
Good
sorry.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Realize that y'all had fun yesterday.
Yeah.
Had so much fun.
So much fun. It was amazing. Oh, and guess what? I won the best painting, so, you know.
You won the best painting.
I won.
What did she paint?
Am I supposed to pass you this one?
No, did she?
Because you did not.
I won.
Did you?
Yes, I won the bag. The pick.
Oh, so you're part of the three.
The final three.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would I not believe
Do you see my painting? Don't go there.
No, what did you guys
No,
paint?
but she killed it too.
What did you guys paint?
It was a silhouette, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guys, you're so sweet. You people.
Listen, yesterday was all shades of fun, excitement, networking, and full of feminine vibes. Yeah. It was like a safe space for women where you're there and you're yourself. Not to forget that it gave us a little bit of teaser what the dish is going to be about. Now, we had people like Black Cherry, other people show up, and listen, it was amazing. Oh, and the food.
You were there for the food.
The food.
Yes, number one, because when I saw your status, I was like, this girl's going for food. Like, she was just ready for food.
You know? And actually, because it was about this feminine kind of thing, right, I wanted to wear something that I know normally I wouldn't wear.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you know, someone like me, we don't normally go.
But what do you mean someone like you?
You don't get what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You know, everyone
You know, I actually was about to lose my mind. So that's why she said, you don't get what I'm saying. So you better come clean, girl.
I'm coming clean now.
Better. It will help you.
Let's be, everybody's size has like the dresses.
Exactly, that fits you, yes.
Suits them and not suit them. But yes, all out. Me Jimmy bareback, Bina, me say.
She was showing skin.
I was showing skin.
Skin on skin.
Skin on
but
skin.
But it was decent. It was so decent. Like, I mean, look, that's Daphne.
I was
There she is.
I was everywhere, Ivo. First of all, I was everywhere. Maybe you say one, I'll say two on the mic. The music.
I think you can now take off Daphne. You people,
please,
thank you very much.
Why you do that?
Why? What's this?
I'm sure the sharing of the food, my face will come.
Your face will come.
When I went for extras, I was listen, don't even go there. But it was fun. It was amazing. It was really fun.
Food
Good conversations was had. Finally, my mindset about feminine and being led and submission was answered, and I'm happy because I used to always think, why should I submit? Listen, submission, yes, is there, but I'm like, if he's not able to lead, why should I submit? But you guys did it for me. You spoke to me. Listen, it was amazing. Let's talk about. Maybe you did your thing, Listen, you did your thing.
There.
Yes. It was a full house.
It was a full house.
Full house.
That's Manny, that's Black Cherry, that's Linda Mensah, that's Ashon, and that's Mimi K. You know.
It was a full house.
Yes, it was.
Diana Kumbe was there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she came with her. They said Galentine, you brought your
Valentine.
Your brownie. You
this
make
girl
it.
I mean, do you see Stephanie in the corner there?
Oh, look at Stephanie.
I didn't recognize her.
I know. Listen.
Charlie.
No one was mediocre there.
Like everybody came on their A game, guys.
Yeah, we guy with this there.
It's not a guy.
There's a guy actually.
No,
there's
the
a guy.
they
one seems like Black Cherry. That's why I told you that men came to support us.
No, but the guy, what's he and
You know, one thing I'm very much excited.
Only Stephanie's, you know.
Shades.
Different shades of Stephanie.
Do you see Afinuna? Do you see her?
Afi is where?
That's her beside.
Close to Stephanie?
That's her sitting close to
Beaucoup de beauté.
She
Beaucoup de beauté.
Afi well because of her.
Yes.
Grades.
Yeah.
She's the one I'm pushing her head all over the place.
Good.
I abused that child.
One of my favorite parts of the show was the giveaway, the Epic Glow giveaway, where they ask questions, and oh my God, oh no, this was a big lesson to us that when they are talking, you better Mimi.
I'm admiring. Just admiring.
when someone is talking, you better pay attention, because tell me why the answers. This man literally spoke about the answers 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Hey, nobody.
And we're making mistakes. Nobody got it.
I think sometimes the ambience and the environment you find yourself in, especially when you're into it, is refreshing to the extent that because when ladies meet together, you would hear that all the concern would happen maybe when you guys are doing your hair. You get it. So when you guys meet together, you definitely ask a question. As for you, dear, we know.
Exactly. With my shades, you admire.
But Diana also asked the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So why would you people even pay attention to the to questions?
But people got it. People got it. And one thing I'm shocked about is the fact that Shalina is actually 40 years in the game. Yeah. Shalina, the producers of Epidem, they said it was the shit. So they had to, do Epiglow. Okay. And I'm so thankful that with my Picasso art, I got the body lotion
and the face cream.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wait to use it. But yes,
ladies.
You deserve that.
And to the whole team, y'all did it.
Every lady that came out of the
what's his name? My director himself, Gabby. Gabby called me, trimester call, and he said, Kudu, we need to do boys, and this time around, the boys would be at a chop bar. Yes.
Chop bar.
Yeah.
Because you are talking about what?
Yeah.
Men with.
Yeah. Men empowerment.
I want to be on that show.
You want to be? Oh yeah.
I want to be a producer.
Yeah. Yes, with Fufu.
I want to produce that show.
With Fufu.
Yeah.
In Sakaka.
Kaka. Person mo kanya sa tema na to
once Debbie, once remember
there. Becca say, yeah, no say, Fadring. That's
the hashtag. That is the hashtag. But Fufu you get it at the top bar. Come and see what boys will see. Boys.
Yeah, no say, Fadring.
You know, go producer again.
Let's give this show to Daphne to produce.
Hey, One person I would like to acknowledge, let's not forget your producer.
Oh.
A powerhouse. This girl, we are looking for Ira to come and do presentation, and she's here.
No, but how would you call Ira to come and do presentation? Presentation. On the back side, you get me. Yeah, so presentation.
I think the entire team pulled up in a way that, because I remember when she called me, she said, "I'm coming to you. Why you?" I said, "God, I'm dead." Started producing the show when I was getting my makeup done, making sure that I got every single thing the way she wanted it to flow, and please, Mr. Mensah. And Lady Ajwa, I salute you, sir.
Oh.
Hey, I've not saw some before. As at 6 o'clock, Mr. Mensah was at venue. I say, you know this.
But can I also tell you something? As at what o'clock, Mr. Mensah called, Daphne, are you coming? I said, I just got back from church. Please stop coming. I was like, wow.
He was shadow producer, lead producer. Lady Ajwa was just doing some magics. At the background, pulling. Oh my God, I have the best bosses in the world.
Yeah.
They were into this entire thing, literally, and I'm saying this humbly, like they taking it up and doing it. So we're very grateful.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's how
Ira and I feel loved. We feel very loved.
I wish we could talk all day about this, but we have other events to attend to. And so let's take a look at Darker Vibes. Now, Darker Vibes had an event at Africana Beach House at Labadi for Valentine's Day. The event was supported by some of his friends, Twitch, Kwame MP, and more. Let's take a look.
I said, why you better 3 moves? So, baby, go.
You just fall down.
You just fall down.
Wow. Wow. Who is this? Hey, good.
My dear.
Wow. Okay.
What does that look like, Momsen?
You know?
Is that Tomboy?
No, that's not Tomboy.
Who are they singing a song?
Yeah, that's
Incredible Ziggy, right?
That's him.
That's Incredible Ziggy.
Okay.
You know he does a lot for
yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Hey.
I like the fact that we are all in, you know, our dresses looking really serious and JKD saying, hey. Well, all I can say is a lovely weekend was had.
Yes.
That's all I can say. My job here is done. I hope you guys had an amazing time. Congratulations once again on the dish season 4. As usual, I'll be sitting here
waiting for us.
First come first. I'm always the first to be served because I always know. And the thing is, I'm forced to close my mouth to the show. I have to stop that. Then I won't come and watch again. Because if I watch, it's like I can't even go and gossip. Do you know what will happen on the dish? It's like I have to now keep quiet and let the show.
And it's frustrating.
It's frustrating because sometimes I want to say, people came. I had things to say. I had just to give. Do you know that? But it's like I had to wait till the show comes.
The only thing now we can do to help is that we'll not allow you through the door. So that
you allow me. Or I'll be seated when they are arranging the things, if you like, sack me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have for you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
The weekend was, you know, when it comes to Valentine's, we have some specific people with regards to love. Kwabna, Akwabwa, Daddy Lumba. That I didn't see coming. But anyways, it was a lovely thing. We now win so I mean, they have their season. Well, congratulations to all of them.
Now, in today's dynamic business environment, a robust workforce is pivotal, and that's why, of course, in achieving success, this is why we have thoughtfully designed our corporate health insurance plans to empower your employees and bolster your organization's performance. With Equity Health Insurance, your investment transcends ordinary insurance. It represents a commitment and, of course, to the future of your company. Our health plans are individually tailored to accommodate the unique needs of your employees, offering comprehensive coverage and exceptional benefits. Our support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your side throughout the entire journey. Please feel free to reach out to us on 050-1515-124 or 0539-135-073 so that we can further enhance the level of service we provide to you at Equity. Always here for.
Well, switch to Telecel fixed broadband today and experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and lots more. New customers get 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers. And existing customers receive 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal to keep browsing. To subscribe to Telecel fixed broadband for these amazing offers, dial *900# or use the Telecel Play app or visit a Telecel retail outlet and get connected today. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies. Why do I feel quite a bit some way when I say terms and conditions? It reminds me of terms, like terms. Anyway.
All right, that's I don't know. That's about it for Coffee Daily. Up next is News Review right after the short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. Fun, fearless, and factual. Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Every day is packed with its own surprises. You never know which thrill is around the corner.
Feel good. Feel good.
Or how it will play out. There's a sense of excitement
Did our plane just stop?
Another cash out.
That adds a little bad to my everyday.
Feels like a party tonight.
Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible without a strong relationship. You've been with me through university. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles. You were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sisi ma sendi obi esika ma no enti me twam. Kwadwo na ponche na.
Soa. Juice ni ope na fe sendi sika no ma no.
Sending money from Telecel Cash to Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Hello, amazing people. Quick question for you. Have you ever used a mobile app or a digital platform to pay for goods, send money, or manage your finance? You know those super loud, let's make it fun, and let's make it fintech. Do you also want to join us at the event or become a sponsor? We would love to hear from you. Give us a call at 059-838-5685 or email fintech.awards.org. Don't miss out on this year's celebration of innovation, creativity, and excellence in fintech. What does make it big for the innovators driving Ghana's digital economy forward? Because it's going to be an electrifying celebration. See you there.
Cheers to the lingering tastes and lasting memories over tables in groups or alone. What's your go-to when you desire the right beverage?
NIILANTE. It's a decision. Love me.
Amazing. On the show, I am John Jermaine.
Step into the world of fashion, where creativity meets innovation and beauty goes hand in hand with style. On Fashion Wednesday, we delve into the journeys of influential voices in the fashion and beauty industries here in Ghana. From emerging designers to seasoned professionals, we explore their stories, their crafts, and vision for fashion's future. Get the inside scoop on the latest trends, expert styling tips, and beauty hacks to elevate your look. Join me every week as we celebrate the art, the passion, and the people behind the scenes who make fashion more than what we just wear. This is Fashion Wednesday, where fashion comes to life. Catch Fashion Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on MX24 TV.
Drama, betrayal, faith, forbidden love. What would you do when life writes a chapter you didn't ask for? Every broken pen has a story to tell. Every story has a lesson to learn. But the question is, how do you fix it? The Broken Pen Show is back. Real stories, raw truths, and maybe, just maybe, the answers you've been looking for. Hi, ladies. Hi. Your story isn't over. Let's fix it together with a cold glass of Nax cocktail. Catch the Broken Pen Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on MX24 TV. My name is Yavita, and I am your host. Cheers.
You're welcome back to the show. This is still the AM Club coming to you live from the MX24 studios, Oleander Streets, East Legon, Accra, Ghana. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. We're getting into our news review segment. I do have my guests already seated. If you're just joining in, you made the right choice. We're about to talk about Ghana. Happenings in Ghana. Loads of conversations. Why is our former Finance Minister declared a fugitive? Why was he declared a fugitive? What are the conversations surrounding that? I think that's one of the questions. Someone told me, you know, it's too harsh to address him as that. But we're going to get into the conversation. Maybe there are technicalities you and I probably do not understand, and we will get into that. Joining us for the conversation this morning is Julius Kwame Anthony. He is a communications person, the presidency, and also Bright. Good morning, sir. How are you? You look so tired. You and your president look tired. Is the economy or the presidency already beating you up?
Oh,
not really. There's just work to do.
Not beating anybody up.
It's just work. There's just work to do.
And sometimes sleeping late.
Yeah? We'll get into that. That's personal conversations. Maybe we should have it backed up. Maybe you never know. Yeah. I also have joining as a Bright Ofori, Executive Director at the Bright Future Alliance, Youth Board Member, UNODC. How are you doing, sir?
United. I'm fine.
Awesome. Also joining us via Zoom, Isaac Aryeetey, political activist. He's going to be joining us via Zoom. Good morning, sir. Please unmute yourself. I cannot hear you, please.
Hello?
Okay, good. I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mimi. Good morning. It's been a while.
Yes. You have decided to hide your face. Are you working with the OSP for us?
Yes. I got a little bit busy with other side work.
Awesome.
So I had to.
Awesome. It's good to have you gentlemen joining me on the show. We're going to get straight into it. Let's start with the finance ministers. I personally, when we were going through the stories, I said this one, I want to hear the gentleman's, thoughts on why, so if someone says that, listen, let me try to make it as simple as possible for my own understanding, okay, right? So if someone says, I am traveling for health reasons, without having to prove at any point that I am running away from the law, as the OSP purports, why is this so big of a deal? And also, at some points, there were conversations about, listen, when we're looking at the Airbus issue, the OSP was able to travel all the way to the UK to have an interview with the former president, but our sitting president's brother, with regards to the issue of the Airbus, so that he could get clarity on where the conversations were coming from. So why can you not do the same for the former finance minister and all of a sudden declare him as a fugitive of the law? I mean, people are a little concerned about that. But then again, when it comes to conversations surrounding the former finance minister with the issues of the National Cathedral and all these cases that he's alleged to be involved in and causing financial loss to the state, one would say that, listen, it's imperative to start investigating immediately to make sure that we do not miss any detail. But from where you sit, Julius, what are your takes on this conversation?
I think that, first of all, the OSP has delayed for so long on these matters involving Ken Ofori. If you look at the issue of SML, it is an issue that has been flagged by all credible think tanks in this country. Civil society organization had been opposed to this SML deal. People, I would say, are credible, have maintained neutrality and fairness in their analysis of all these matters, have all said that this SML deal is obvious daylight robbery of the people of the Republic of Ghana. But that the SP was there this whole while and did nothing about it. When it came to the issue of the National Cathedral, Karisames being given monies that belong to the people of the Republic Ghana under dubious arrangements to raise. You had pastors, including Kisi Boatin, alias Edu Jemfi, who I don't know which one is truly his identity, born on different days, all under this funny schemes, and these things were going on, and the OSP was there the whole time. So I think that it is even long overdue that he actually investigated Mr. Ofori. We had issues of his dealings with Data Bank as financial advisor to the government of the Republic of Ghana. Something that smacks of clear conflict of interest, highly unethical, that when the government of the Republic of Ghana borrows money, Mr. Ofori's bank is at the bottom, taking percentages, which would suggest that there is a private incentive to actually drown the people of the Republic of Ghana in unsustainable debts. The OSP never took up these issues in time. And so I think that it is even a long time ago. Then on the issue of declaring Ken Ofori a fugitive of justice, who is a fugitive of justice? One needs not necessarily have been, convicted by the courts to become a fugitive. When the person takes deliberate actions to avoid compliance with law enforcement agencies.
So you think the move is deliberate?
That is how it appears.
Okay.
From the correspondence between the OSP and the attorneys of Mr. Ken Ofori, it appears as if there is an intention not to comply with the OSP. And so if there are deliberate steps taken by a person, the person needs not necessarily be convicted. Because all of us, I always say that all of us moving about are candidates for investigation or candidates for arrest by the police at any time at all. Because the law says that on suspicion. And the office of the OSP has some authorities which are akin to the police that enables them to investigate issues when they have suspicion of corruption around a certain person's dealings. And so if you are taking deliberate steps to avoid compliance with them, you may be named a fugitive of justice. I think that the international embarrassment that we are suffering because of the conduct of the likes of Ofori, only, come to justify what we, the people of Ghana, did on December 7th. Because if you observe the entire system, the sudden willingness to speak out, the sudden willingness to act, even by persons who have authority to have acted within the past 8 years, including OSP.
Yes.
You would realize that it would have only taken a change of government for these things to happen. And I'm glad that he's acting up now. What we don't want is theatrics without an end. That is what we don't want. We want answers. We want tangible deliverables. We want a clear time frame within which he intends to carry out these matters and bring them to a conclusion. And so if Mr. Ken Ofori has nothing to hide, as his attorneys are suggesting, if he has committed no offense, he has done no wrong, and he is willing to answer these issues that we are talking about, he should avail himself. On the issue of, the so-called Airbus issue and someone being interviewed outside of the jurisdiction. It is because the person himself availed that I am here. Come and ask me questions.
Okay.
On the other hand, Mr. attorneys are saying that he is indisposed. That is the difference between the two situations. So I think that the whole fuss about why have you named him a fugitive of justice and all of those things is just a matter of people's egos. Political parties and how they operate, they feel that a slight on one of them is a slight on all of them. And so you saw the agitation of the New Patriotic Party in Parliament all over the place. These same New Patriotic Party members of Parliament, I think 88 of them, told by then Majority Leader Chairman Sabonsu that it was all 137 of them that were at Eden, that Mr. Ken Ofori was destroying this country at proportions that are intolerable, and that Mr. Ken Ofori should be out of office. They knew from day one what Mr. Ken Ofori was doing. They knew that Mr. Ken Ofori was not only running the country down because he was incompetent. They knew that deliberate steps were taken in advancing private interests of persons at the expense of the people of the Republic of Ghana. They know all this. Why are they suddenly pretending as though they don't know the issues that surround Mr. Ken Ofori? They all know. The MPP in Parliament knows what Ken Ofori did. Most of them were not in support of it. Some of them were literally angry because of the things that were going on. We still hear, a former member of Parliament, Apiakubi, on platforms talking about the conduct of Ofori and how it has caused this country. So why are we suddenly pretending as if Mr. Ken Ofori is a saint who is being attacked by a special prosecutor and all of those things? We all knew that at the end of the day, he was not going to go free with the conduct he was putting up. So please, I think that the labeling has absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a term of art. Its definitions are clear. You need not have been convicted. All you need to do is to be evading law enforcement or investigative bodies, and you become a fugitive of justice.
What do you think the way forward is for this case to be completely resolved? How do we get former finance minister into a room, get a conversation, start the investigation? Investigations are already, have already begun, and so just the interview with him so that they can proceed on some of the. How do you think we can make headway with this particular conversation?
I think the OSP as a body know what it's doing. It's a law-compliant institution that has been empowered by the state. Every state institution has its own processes. A person that has been alleged or believed to be involved in corruption or corruption-related offenses goes through a series of processes. That process includes the person that has been named or alleged to have done something is invited to come to the office, go through some processes. At times, your fingerprint is even captured as part of the processes to help the investigative body carry out some conduct. Sometimes they even call you in to answer certain questions or provide certain information to help them even press with a charge sheet before the procedure or before you even move to court. So the Mr. Ken Ofori, as every other Ghanaian, is not above the law. Every other person, if a person steals a cow and is taken through the same process, we all know the conduct of Mr. Ofori when he was a minister. There are a series of allegations, about 5 of them, which has been leveled against him, or it's alleged to have he done some things that didn't help the state. So Mr. Ofori needs to follow the legal procedures or follow the OSP's instructions and just comply. They are not saying they are just coming and they arrest you. Just avail yourself. Just as you cited the Airbus scandal, the person involved availed himself. I'm here, come, let's talk. But Mr. Ofori's conduct from the correspondence that has been exchanged between them and the OSP clearly states he's not ready to come back.
We also probably either ignoring or missing the fact that he's supposed to be fiscally unfit for any conversation.
So if he are unfit,
out indefinitely
at your own time. So next 2050 before he comes back. You cannot say that.
Right.
If you've been charged with a crime or alleged to have done something, you tell the state institution, I'll be available on this day. Maybe give me in the next 3 months, I'll be back.
Which is what the OSP is asking for.
Yes, but he says he's unavailable at this own time. You cannot dictate to the state institution, to the police, to the prosecutors as to when you want to avail yourself. That's when I think the OSP stepped in. So Mr. Ofori, as a noble man that he is, maybe he might have not even done that. He should just allow the process, and then at the end of the day, the court processes would take it course.
I'm going to rephrase this, but I think the OSP mentioned that if they do not comply anytime soon, they're going to use force. Yes. Let me use that. Ms. Aryeetey, with the posture of the OSP right now, they're saying that, listen, he is saying that if they do not comply as soon as possible, they're going to have to use any means possible to get him into a room. What is the MPP feeling like, or what are the members of the MPP feeling like from this presser the OSP held last week?
Yes, thank you very much, and good morning to my respected colleagues at the studio. Mimi, I think one way or the other, we must allow the law to work. So if the law is actually enforced to ensure that Ken Ofori is brought to justice, that's by all grounds, it's okay. But allow me to say this, we are setting a very dangerous precedent, if you allow me to say this, which will cost us a great deal in defending our democracy someday. And this action will shake in the very core of our foundation, or the fundamental human rights. Continue to act as such.
How is that so?
Why do I say that? I'm saying this because I always advise that we should not be so tempted in celebrating mediocrity through anger. I expect that every person who tackles such a matter, we should at least have a higher sense of objectivity and not subjectivity. So maybe calling one person a fugitive takes 2 underlying factors. 1, there must be a charge of offense against the person. 2, there must be a court order to compel the person. And this, I believe that we are well informed under the Section 30 of the Extradition Act, that's the 1960. We are informed on that. So if we are talking about the powers of the special prosecutor, the prosecutor is to investigate corruption and corruption-related activities. So now, allow me to ask this question. Is a corruption-related activity a charge to declare one a fugitive? I mean, let's not forget, the OSP has done this before. He has done this before.
In which case?
I'm beginning to believe, yes, I'm beginning to believe that it's a deliberate abuse of power. Because take the case of Charles Bissue, for instance. The case of Charles Bissue. He publicly claimed that he has obtained an arrest warrant, making Ghanaians believe, the media also believe, and everyone believing that it was legitimate. But when the case was taken to court, he denied the existence of such order. And this is there. So if we see, to arrest someone, a proper procedure is to first obtain an arrest order from the district court. which he didn't. Well, I'm yet to.
That is
there was an invitation to have
he has an arrest.
I'm yet to see other documents to prove otherwise.
It's not what you've seen, it's what it is.
And when you ask them that what is the charge against Ken Ofori, they'll simply talk about the SML deal and all that. But the SML case, it requires investigation and not charge. If I'm right, it requires investigation. And charges are only filed after investigations are completed.
But part of the investigation is the conversation they want to have with him, is the interview they want to have with him. How about that? How about that sit down, they're asking, like, before we initiate anything, let's have a conversation with you. How about that?
What I keep saying is the only difference that separates us humans from animals is such as the examples such as the Sedinam Temaclose case. The Sedinam Temaclose case. That's a very good example of that. When Justice Efia Sewabuchi declared that the fugitive declared her a fugitive from justice, they have been ruling. Let's not forget that. And that's warranted her calling her a fugitive.
For a person to be a fugitive of justice.
She absconded from the country without a trace. So just imagine, let me just say that if the MPP government did not follow due process and declared her fugitive, you would have seen freedom fighters, lawyers and communicators from NDC preaching on human rights. Let me take an example such as the Oliver Becca case. And in this case, there was even a video that was proving the evidence of his action. Yet, they were adamant about upholding his fundamental human rights. They were adamant, very adamant on that. So now what changed? Is Ken Ofori, our former finance minister, not a human rights citizen, to enjoy the basic fundamental human rights privileges?
Okay, so I think
just as anyone else.
Before you move,
let me define the term fugitive. Let me define the term fugitive. The fugitive is a person who flees or escapes from or travels secretly from a place to place, and sometimes using disguises or aliases to
and based on your own definition for a fugitive, you do agree with me that I'm going to let you land on this one very soon. I'm sorry
to allow me to submit.
But I'm going to ask, based on your own explanation or definition for a fugitive, the OSP has said that we have reached out severally. We want to have very clear details of how we can get to, if he's not feeling well, which hospital is he at? How can we get get to him? We need clear conversations from the lawyers, and they're not getting that. So in their minds, they're assuming, or it is... I mean, how do I even put it? What's the proper word? That he is deliberately not giving clear details. How about that?
Mimi, allow me.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm not going to allow you if you don't answer my question.
And yes, and I'm submitting to your question. I'm giving you a submission on that. And I never mentioned that
these are not correct related.
The context at which I read, the context at which I gave you, which qualifies the actions of the former finance minister. Just tell me, with the context I gave you, what or which of his actions qualifies what I just said?
I just told you. I just told you that they are looking for clear information from him, and they're not getting it. So how do they not declare him a fugitive?
Information clearly proved that there was a line of communication between the two parties. So how to declare him a fugitive is a question we are asking now. Meanwhile, in his letter, he communicated to you that this is where he's going, this is what he's going to do. And he's on a medical, checkup.
Allegedly.
He's on a medical checkup. Allegedly. But regardless, he's told you that this is what he's going to do. Well, the person committee gave him time to go do his medical checkups and all that. He was given. So this particular circumstance that happened, see, I'm not here to justify Ofori test actions or inactions, but I'm here to say that the fundamental rights of every individual must be upheld, and that is where I am standing. See, every citizen, anyway, see, the OSP wants Ofori to appear before him regardless. Now, that's fine. But are you aware that he can choose to even appear and still choose not to talk? His lawyers will still talk to him.
Then the OSP decides from there. Yeah.
He can choose not to talk, and his lawyers will talk for him, and that is his prerogative. That is his right. But every citizen by constitution has the right not to incriminate themselves. So if there is any way at which someone can stand in for them, by all means, the person can do that. And in any way, if you want to, if a police wants to arrest a person, the first thing the police does is to read your caution statement to you. And your caution statement, you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of competent jurisdiction.
So my only concern is where you don't.
We are saying.
Okay. Please go. You can land on this one now, please.
As I said, I'm not here to defend the actions or inaction of a former minister. But I am here to remind ourselves that we are setting a dangerous precedent where it will come a time that we will not need a full course of law to take decisions before we make those decisions. Remember, today is Kenofriata. Tomorrow it could be you or I. And we may be calling for justice as at then. So every citizen's fundamental human rights have been infringed. And I believe that the OSP should pursue the case by all means. But I'm saying that he should pursue it in the right way, with a full accordance with the law of the land. And that is it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Aryeetey. I wish I could give you that time, but we have more stories to touch on. And it's unfortunate that we're still on the what the law says about the constitution of this country. I'm actually very glad. Every time we have these conversations, I always say that I'm glad that we're reviewing our constitution to see what we can take, accept, what we can take out of the constitution, so that everybody will know that we did this and we did this for the Ghanaian people. Let's continue with AG's discontinuation of cases, a ploy to whitewash implicated NDC officials, and this is coming from Godfrey Dame. I knew that reaction was going to come, so let me give you background to the story. So, former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfrey Dame has accused the John Dramani Mahama government of using the discontinuation of high-profile criminal cases as a deliberate strategy to clear its officials of wrongdoing. Mr. Dame, criticized the recent withdrawal of high-profile cases, arguing that it is part of a calculated attempt to whitewash officials of the previous Mahama government. We are all aware of the cases, and the AG came out to say he was in no he was doing this in no connection with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He did it with his own discretion, which was again worrying to a lot of people, because how are you doing this at this time, on what basis? It was what the questions were. Please, are you going to take that from me?
Yeah. So let me, before I answer that, let me correct the gentleman.
Okay.
Emotions has no place in law. Also, the OSP had an arrest warrant before they did or before they are doing what they are doing. Also, Mr. Ofori has not been declared a criminal fugitive. He's only been declared a fugitive from justice.
From justice, right?
Yes, meaning he's unable to avail himself for the legal processes to take place. That's all. He hasn't been declared a criminal fugitive. So that definition he cited was inaccurate. Back to the question. I feel President Mahama, before coming to power, one of his biggest tools or policies that he announced was his desire or willingness to fight corruption. But if you also come in and then you clear some people that you believe were or are your party members, I think you didn't do it so well. Before that, the Attorney General also might have, he has his own process, things that goes through before he withdraws some cases. There's been some documents, internal memo among prosecutors that has been sent to the previous Attorney General to withdraw some cases, particularly the one that was about the former Bank of Ghana, Mr. Isiama. Another one was a former Speaker, Majority Leader. All these cases clearly were just witch hunting tools.
How are you sure of that?
Prosecutors have sent internal memo to the previous Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, to withdraw some of these cases because they were not of merit.
And they did not.
And he didn't. So if another Attorney General is in and then he feels these are legit concerns, I can step in and then. Secondly, he didn't do anything out of the law or something outside the law. He did everything in confines of the law. But the only thing I find troubling is the reason he cited that some cases has been in court for so many years. We all live in Ghana. The legal processes take so much time. There are about 1,000 or 2,000 cases currently in court that has been 20, 30 years. Why didn't he say he's also withdrawing all those cases? Just because it's been in court for so many years. Yeah. So clearly,
I don't
he
think
also chose. It seems he selected about certain party members that he feels they belong to their side, and then he drew. I would have appreciated if the Attorney General came out and say, there are about 1,000 cases currently. Because of what A, B, C, D, or these are the criteria I'm using to withdraw some of these cases. But clearly he showed, despite the 1,000 cases that the Attorney General Office are currently holding, he selected about 7 of them, which were their party members.
So that's the confusion people have. Like, well, how is it coincidentally just people from?
That's it. So these concerns are legit. These concerns are legit. These concerns are legit. If there are about 1,000 people that are facing the same process, they are all going to court, and you come out and say, because of these 7 people, I'm taking it out. It doesn't make sense. Right. You should give reasons as to why this particular one we are taking this out. Out of the 200 or the 20 cases that you have, why am I selecting this? I'm selecting this because of this. I'm selecting this because of this. Absolutely. You don't just come and choose your 7 members or people that you think belong to your political party. If you do this, then clearly you are just showing one side of your desire to fight against corruption. It should be a double-edged sword, where you cut this way, you cut this way. But you shouldn't just prosecute Ofori and then other party members, you take them out. If this is what he's starting with, then I'm sorry.
People are worried.
I'm sorry. We have a long way to go as a country.
Father Anthony.
2 points first. One, the Attorney General has not, under any circumstance, I watched his press, sir, I read the press statement, said that any case has been in court for too long and that alone is reason for which he has withdrawn it. That reason has not been assigned to any.
It was one of the reasons he raised.
Which of the cases? Because it takes a particular case, states the reasons. Which of the
Mr. Opuni's case, for instance, he quoted.
Mr. Opuni's case.
Mr. Opuni's case, he quoted and said it's been in court for so many years.
Mr. Opuni's case, what he said, clear and straightforward, was that the judge in the case, in a particular instance, struck out exculpatory evidence without granting basis. He never said because he stayed in court.
It was one of the reasons. He didn't just give one reason. He said,
no, there is no case, please. His statement is out there. You have your phone, you can pull it out.
These are public records.
There is,
he cited a series of reasons why he's withdrawing Mr. Opuni's case. And one of the reasons he cited was it has been in court for so many years without the processes being followed.
I am saying that the cases that have been cited, that cases that have been dropped so far, each and every one of those cases were taken by the AG and reasons for dropping them ascribed to them. Timeline is not a basis for dropping any of the cases.
It is one of the reasons
it is not. Please. The Opuni case and the issues around it. The core issue that, compelled the Attorney General to withdraw the case has been the conduct within the judiciary. That is what is cited, not time frame. So please, let's not make that mistake and say that because they said cases have traveled for a particular number of time, they are withdrawing them. No. That can never be a basis for which a case is drawn. That was not the basis. So that point should be made clear. Then the second thing is that we should not actually obfuscate matters and create a situation where the purpose and intent for which an action is done is obscured by political, spinnings. One, President Mahama says he is doing Operation Recover or Loot, such that persons who have engaged in activities that would be, characterized as looting the people of the Republic of Ghana would be brought to book. The cases that have been discontinued, you cannot say all these cases involve looters. For example, the case that involved former NDC chairperson, Ofosu Ampofo. It has nothing to do with anybody looting anything. The case that involved Oliver Bakavomao and the Democracy Hub group has absolutely nothing to do with corruption and people looting anybody. The case that has to do with the Bank of Ghana governor, Dr. Esiama, has nothing to do with anybody looting anybody. They said you have made a wrong fiscal decision that has supposedly caused financial loss to the state. But the money which is being spoken about has been paid.
Greater percentage of it
has been paid. And there is an indication that the bank involved has assets with another bank which can be used to pay the money. So there is no loss.
Right.
So where does it involve looters? So we are obfuscating the issues. And so the MPP, I'm coming to that. The MPP is in a desperate, mode, trying to make sure that because Operation Recover or Loot has taken steam, it is one of the issues that Ghanaians is topmost, actually. If you do all your checks, if you ask people randomly on the street, people will tell you that the economic issues are not even top on their agenda. That punishing corruption and making sure that the impunity ends in this country is top on their agenda. The MPP is in a desperate mood to make sure that they try and equalize and obfuscate matters. So please, let that basis be set fundamentally. Now let's take the issues one by one as pertains to the cases that have been dropped by the Attorney General. And for me, before I go into them, I want to lay emphasis that this current Attorney General is proving to the people of the Republic of Ghana that we are advancing, we are growing as a people in terms of how we exercise discretion and the authority of the state that has invested in us. We had AG Godfrey Dami, who entered nolle prosequi in a lot of cases, and says he will not give any reason, that he does not owe Ghanaians any reason for entering it. That was the level of his impunity. That was the level of his, lawlessness. That was the level of, arrogance with which he exercised the office of Attorney General. We have another Attorney General who is saying that, see, the law says, and if you read the case of, this gentleman's case, the one that involved the pouring of acid. If you read that case, Gregory Afoko, and the Attorney General, if you read that case, the court came to a conclusion that an Attorney General owes nobody an explanation as to why he enters nolle prosequi. The dissenting judge in that case that is Gabriel Puaman, was of the view that no, the Attorney General must assign reasons. That's the minority opinion. Majority of the court, led by Mafusal GSE, were of the view that an AG owes nobody an explanation. Despite that, Dr. Ayine says that no. Article 296 of the Constitution says that you owe a duty to be fair and candid in the exercise of your discretion. How can a person be fair and candid in the exercise of discretion if the person refuses to talk about why he exercised the discretion? And so for that matter, I am going to come out on my own volition and tell you why I have taken these initiatives. The same level of impunity, the same level of arrogance, the same level of lawlessness could have been exercised by him and said, no, I'm not explaining to you. I have done it, and I'm moving on. So that is progress that we should celebrate, because I personally belong to the school of thought that the discretionary powers of the Attorney General is not the kind that we were told in the cases of Captain and all the others, that they are of pure executive a responsibility, and for that matter, they need not even, publish an LI as to how they exercise and all of that. I don't buy into that. Because nolle prosequi is not one of those things that the AG wakes up every day and he is doing. It is rare. Once a while, the AG does that. So it is important that we get to a stage as a country where we know that this is a regulated discretion. And by regulated discretion, I mean discretion exercised in a manner that when I feel it has not been exercised well, I can go to court and ask the court to review the decision of the Attorney General. Under the dummy Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Injustice, if you are going to put the realities into context, under the dummy Ministry of Injustice, we would not have had that. You cannot go and even ask. So now we are growing as a people.
Okay, so you think this is progress?
It is progress, the likes of which we have never seen before.
So it's progress because it concerns your party members?
No, please. This is an issue, if you are a student of law, it's a jurisprudential issue that has been subject to several debates, even in the Apex Court, as to whether an Attorney General should enter nolle prosequi. I am of the view, I side with the minority on the court, that the Attorney General must explain. And if we have an Attorney General who is voluntarily, please, if we have an Attorney General who is voluntarily doing something that can I land my point? If we have an Attorney General who is voluntarily doing something the court said you can decide not to do, that's progress. It doesn't matter who is doing it. Godfrey Dami, on the other hand, was acting with impunity. That is why. So it's not a matter of if it is NDC involved or not. It's a matter that we must progress. We can't have a situation like that Afoko case. See how Afoko was treated. Attorney General enters nolle prosequi after 4 years of hauling him to court every day. Then the next morning, he's charging him at the district court. That abuse of power eventually ends. It has nothing to do with politics. It has something to do with individual freedoms, that people can no longer be treated like that when we have Attorney Generals who now feel obliged on their own to give explanations. Now, take the case that involved Kesiel Atofose. there is a reason why we actually, issue letters of credit. The reason we issue letters of credit is because we want to manage risk. There are two obligations that is on the technical advisors that engage in any transaction. The financial integrity of whatever transaction they are dealing with, and the technical integrity of the transaction. Such that if I am going to purchase an ambulance as Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Health owes the responsibility of ensuring the financial and technical integrity of the transaction they engage in. The job of finance minister is to supervise and manage risk. That is why a finance minister will issue a letter of credit, such that it is the technical staff of the Ministry of Health and the Minister of Health who owe a responsibility to ensure that whatever they are purchasing, is sound in terms of its technical use, and there is value for money. The responsibility is on them.
Yeah.
I, as finance minister, issuing letter of credit is to ensure that if you, who are the technical persons, do not give me a green light that the thing has passed the dual test of technical integrity and financial prudence, then money is not paid to the third party.
Right.
So if I do that, I sign a letter of credit, and an attorney general comes and picks me up and starts prosecuting me and ignores all the people who said, this is sound.
It's sound, absolutely. Makes no sense.
That is political witch hunt.
No. Okay.
I am being targeted. I am being picked up simply because I am a political blockade for somebody. That is what happened in the Kisela 247 case. And if nothing lends credence to this deliberate political witch hunting of Kisela 247, the conduct of former Attorney General Godfrey Adami is demonstrative of it enough. Why would he be going after Jakpa, asking Jakpa to give testimonies in a manner that would convict Kisela 247 if the intention from day one was not to secure conviction? We have been told by the court in several cases that the job of prosecution is not to secure conviction, is to lay the facts before the court as forcefully as they can, but they must do so in all fairness.
Right.
What Godfrey Adami was doing, meeting people back door, sending WhatsApp texts to them, coaching them,
unethical,
was grossly unethical, and only goes to lend credence to my prior analysis that credit in itself should not be a basis for which you are charging somebody. That the intention from day one was to jail Kisela 247 unjustly. That aside, you take the case of the now governor of Bank of Ghana.
Right.
The Bank of Ghana as an institution owes a duty to take policy decisions to ensure the survival and sustainability of our financial system. And taking those decisions involve, in certain instances, making emergency lendings to some of our banks so that they don't collapse.
Yeah.
As short as that. Then the Bank of Ghana as an institution, we are an institution. We meet as an institution and take a decision that we are supporting a particular bank by advancing money to them so that they don't collapse. Then you come and pick me out of the lot and say you are prosecuting me for causing financial loss to the state. Beyond the absurdity of that, the definition of financial loss to the state in itself requires that there must have been a loss.
A loss, okay.
Some money must have been gone.
But in this case, there wasn't.
In this case, there wasn't. And there are internal memos telling you that from the facts of this case that we are prosecuting, the money has been repaid. The bank has some other money locked up somewhere, which when it eventually moves, would be able to clear the debt. And so your basis of the charge, which is causing financial loss to the state, could not have held. Then this Attorney General, on his way out of office, ordered his staff to shred those documents. There was mass shredding at the office of the Attorney General and Ministry.
Allegations.
They are not allegations, they are verified facts.
By who?
They are not, I am saying they are not allegations, they are verified facts. You are a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. You can file a right to information, a request, and it will be verified for you. They are verified facts. Okay. Godfrey Adami, in his press conference, claimed that at no point in time was there any internal memo telling him to drop the case involving the now governor of Bank of Ghana. Right. But there was a memo.
There was a memo, which I've seen myself.
There was a memo. Okay. And there was an attempt to shred that as well. So you see, if you see the conduct of the previous Attorney General, there was a deliberate effort to make sure that persons they see as political opponents are, dealt with. And the institutions of justice are weaponized against those people. I do not think that if a new Attorney General comes in and sees the gross injustice of these things and says an end to it, then it amounts to whitewashing people. There's a second argument people make, that okay, be things, and I'm ending on that, be things as they may, if these people would eventually be proven to be innocent, then the current Attorney General should allow them to go through the full haul of the criminal procedure so that they are exculpated. With all due respect to all who make that argument, it is the most ludicrous of arguments to put across on a matter. Here's the reason why. For an Attorney General or a state prosecutor to go before a court and says, I am laying facts which would lead to the conviction of a person, that state prosecutor himself must believe that based on the principles of our criminal justice system and the facts that are available to him, there will be conviction before the person even goes through that process. You don't subject a person to the rigors of the criminal justice process when you know very well that this person, at the end of the day, must be free. Because in as much as people will tell you that our criminal justice process presumes innocence until proven guilty, then if I am already innocent in your knowledge, why are you putting me through that process? If you read Article 19 of our Constitution, the very first clause of it warns against what they are proposing. There must be a basis for it. And so if I have come to the conclusion that there is no basis, and you are telling me that someone should wake up every morning, find a defense attorney, be paying the defense attorney every single time. In theory, it looks like it is sound, but in practice, there is no way I should wake up every morning and be going to court to be defending myself in a case that the AG knows very well that I am not guilty. How absurd and ludicrous is that proposition?
What about
and so that proposition on the Saglame issue, you said someone has caused financial loss to the state to the tune of 200 and something million.
Over $200 million.
When in actual fact, the fund that you are claiming, a significant percentage, I think over $90-something million, went into the project. And you are charging the person for the full haul of the project. I mean, the total cost of the project. So I am giving you $200 million to do a project. Then you have spent out of it over $90 million executing the project. And for some reason, they said you have misapplied. The charge is misapplication of the fund. When in actual fact, the money went into the project. Then the Attorney General picks you up and says, I am charging you for the total sum of the project. Another ludicrous charge, if you look at it. And so when you see all these issues, without going into the nuances of the issue, it is easy for a new patriotic party, to run propaganda. And it is a thing, they feel that opposition is that simple. We were in opposition for 8 years. And out of that 8 years of opposition, for 5 years I was communicating for the NDC. If the MPP thinks that you can simply just wake up and throw anything out and the people will buy it, they should come for some lessons. It doesn't work that way. The issues you are putting up must fundamentally resonate with the mood and thinking of the people. If it does not fundamentally resonate with the mood and thinking of the people, and you keep throwing it out, they'll start seeing you as clowns. And my friends in the New Patriotic Party, I dare say you risk starting to look like clowns when you feel that you can take anything and throw it in and keep throwing it in and keep throwing it in and to work. It would not work. Because if you say Okal, Claire Lutes, and it is Oliver Bakavoma who has been, what do you call it? Charges have been dropped against for protesting. How is it Okal? And you think that the Ghanaian people are lame or what? And that presumption has caused the New Patriotic Party in this just ended 2024 election, but they have still not come to terms with it. The people are not as gullible as you think. Rise up, elevate the game to the people's level of thinking, and it will work. So please, Godfred Yeboah Dame, with all due respect to his status as a former Attorney General, has no locus, no basis. He is the most unethical person to have ever held the office of Attorney General. I hear him trying to impugn the integrity of, what do you call it, Dr. Aryeetey, that Dr. Aryeetey is facing disciplinary proceedings before the what do you call it, the general legal counsel, and for that matter, he's unfit for attorney general. You are chief justice. You are at a conference. I am also speaking at the conference. You sat on an election petition, and the conclusions of the election petition and the processes that the election petition went through, I have issues with them. And as a lawyer, I express my views against how the processes went. And because those views that I express, you are in disagreement with them, you egoistically go to the General Legal Counsel and ask that disciplinary procedures should be initiated against me. And for that matter, a former Attorney General says because of that reason, I don't qualify to be. If that is the case, then even on the bench, the judges, after they sit and there is a dissenting view, they should sack the dissenter. Because we can't all agree on the principles of law as they are. You, Godfrey Deboadami, on the other hand, was seeing witnesses behind the scenes, coaching them to testify in a certain manner so that you can convict innocent people, which is more unethical than that. So please, when we are naming people and putting brands on people and doing all these things, we should do an internal review of ourselves, the conduct we have put up over the period, and see if we are not the candidates for the things we are saying other people are.
Thank you very much, Father Anthony there. We're going to move on to our final topic for this morning and then try to wrap up this. The oral team last Monday have presented their reports to the president. We don't have that much time, but we'll move on to this other conversation because I think Ghanaians have also been looking forward to the reports from this, in fact, the results from this report. And so, Mr. Aryeetey, I'm going to have you take that one. The oral report has been given, and we're looking into that. Please, if you can speak on that for me briefly. Please, if you can unmute.
Hello?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Your expectations of the reports from the team oral.
Amy, you've not been fair to me because a lot of things have been said that needs to be addressed. And
what do you want to address? What do you want to address? Address it and go ahead with my topic.
A lot of things.
Please go ahead. Address.
Excuse me?
You can go ahead and address it.
Thank you very much. I feel the irony of this case is very striking. The irony of this case is very striking. But how can a government that is known for championing the Operation Recover or Loot, as the NDC members that are standing trial for cases that are involving very large sum of money, be cleared? Perhaps, maybe they are not interested in recovering the loot from their NDC members. And I always say that if we are to justify this, or we are to ask him to justify his reason, he always brings up the flimsy excuse that the cases have been dragged for 7 to 8 years, and that should be therefore be discontinued. No, and I agree with my other brother saying, mentioning this underlying statement, the 7 to 8 years dragged cases. And this is setting another precedent, because if you should say that sending the message that one can loot, evade justice, and delay court proceedings and flee from the country, and then once your government comes into power, you are being cleared. What is that giving us, or what idea is it giving to us? This is not the reset agenda the president promised us. This is not a reset agenda the president promised us. One of the oral key functions is to recover every peswa and reinvest it into the national development. Yet, the Attorney General has discontinued a case that is potentially to recover an amount of $266 million US. You have discontinued a case that is potentially to recover about $266 million US. And allow me to break it down. The $200 million, that's for the Saglami housing project, which my very good friend Julius explained. Please, if he thinks that he is really innocent on that, he should present himself for justice to take its course. Why should he be cleared? This is a large sum of money which the state is also interested in knowing how it ends. It shouldn't be cleared from there. The $66 million, that is coming from the snitch operation business. And these both cases have been cleared with no explanation, no understanding, no recourse to it. It's questionable. So what are the oral doing? See, we are actually supporting the functions of the ORA, but if the ORA is going to be a state institution that it is to chant or to which hands the MPPs, then that is not going to define its force. That's not going to define its force. We have an additionally about 78 counts of various charges that is relating to the countermand to market issue, which if we should bring it, is giving us an approximately of about 70 million Ghana cedis. That one also has been discontinued. So if we are talking about these things, if we bring the inflation of the bus to the GPRTU, that is also another missing case with no explanation. The GPRTU.
Come again with that issue also again. I missed that.
I'm saying that we are having an approximately of about 70 million Ghana cedis. That also have not been explained. Also, the inflation of the buses. That's for the GPRTU. And the missing 500,000 cedis and much more cases that needs to be looked into. And these cases have been discontinued under mass law. So all these issues, you are telling us that they are innocent. Let us see the finishing justice of the innocence that you are preaching about. And that is the purpose of the ORA we are looking at. So if the Attorney General comes out with no valid justification and boldly says that the decision is his personal responsibility, then and hence he can enter into a nulli pacifier to withdraw all the cases, without consulting the president. Really, without consulting the president. This clearly violates the Article 23 and then the Article 296 of the Constitution. And that says that without proper justification, it amounts to unfairness and arbitrariness. So this poses a serious threat to our democracy.
Right.
And we are not to allow the dangerous presidency to continue, and we have to see it as a norm.
Please.
No, we need not to see this as a norm. It's not right.
Okay. So I think you've done a great job.
Continue, and let us bring that to a conclusive finish.
Right. You've done a great job answering two questions in one. Thank you so much, Mr. Aryeetey.
So let me touch on what my brother said about Saglemi housing. Where Mr. Collins, Alaji Collins Dauda was charged as to probably he's conducted himself in a particular manner that wasn't good. The brother here just said the value, the 200 million value, was the issue that he wasn't in agreement with. Of which the new Attorney General cleared him, which is unfortunate. If you've not, let's say you've not stolen $200 million and you've stolen $1 million, shouldn't we charge you for the $1 million that you've stolen?
That you've stolen, right.
So if the amount, the $200 million is the issue, you review the case, and then the one that he's conducted himself in an unfortunate manner, you charge that person. That should be the way forward. But you can't say because the entire value, $200 million, is inaccurate, you are claiming the person.
The entire
it doesn't happen like that.
That doesn't work like that.
Yeah, right. And I always say law and then the issues of justice cut across. You can't select and choose the one that you want to prosecute. He also mentioned, he spoke about the Bank of Ghana director, where he said it was a decision by the team. And then you can't charge him because it was a decision by the team. Leadership or leaders take responsibilities when things go wrong.
That's not the point. I'm saying that the policy decisions of Bank of Ghana are not taken by any one individual. That's one. And then second, causing financial loss to the state, there must have been a loss.
There are other issues.
So there are no losses in this case.
The first one where decisions as a bank isn't taken by one person. But you are the leader. If anything goes wrong, you will be the one that will be held accountable. Mr. Oforiata was also not a decision. He wasn't the only person in the Ministry of Finance. It was a decision taken by the entire ministry. And then he, as an individual, as a leader of that ministry, if things goes well or doesn't go well, you will be the one held accountable.
You think he did it on his own?
So don't say Mr. Siama acted in the capacity, or he didn't take the decision
there are two-pronged legs.
And then
Mr. You can't pick one and say it is a basis for which a person should keep being.
No, I'm not saying it was one of the issues. It was one of the issues you cited. So beyond the underlying factors, where probably the person didn't do things right, these are other issues. But for you to say because it was a decision taken by the entire bank, and then I am the leader, you can't hold me responsible. I disagree with that.
We are talking about a criminal issue. For a criminal charge to lie, all elements must be in place.
Yes.
One, I must have been the person who have committed
But in this case, he wasn't.
You can't say a Bank of Ghana monetary policy decision then you pick one person.
If it were the case, it's a single obligo.
Yes.
If you want me to explain, let me help you.
He is like finance minister. You have authority to sign off on issues.
Yes. Okay.
Where you have that, if it were that case, then there's an issue. And then secondly, for a criminal charge of causing financial loss to the state to lie, there must have been a loss. So you cannot pick the fact that I said and say that because of that they should have continued.
This was one thing that you mentioned.
Because we are talking about whether or not prosecution could have continued.
Issue.
Right. So, but do you get where he's coming from?
I get him.
Okay. Yeah, so you can't say prosecution can continue on that.
Because on the basis of he being the...
You can't say because you are the...
No, but can prosecution continue on that basis? Because the charge is causing financial loss to the state. The charge is causing financial loss to the state, not being a leader of an institution.
As a person.
Yeah,
but
so
do you get where it's coming from? Because I think I get it. I'm not sure if I'm probably getting it wrong.
Has he caused financial loss?
That is another issue.
It's not another issue. It's financial loss to the state. So that's the issue.
That's the issue.
And he's saying right now that there isn't any loss to the state. So it's not about so you being the leader or not.
Yes. Nobody has ever been charged.
No, he cited that.
No,
I didn't say that.
I made a contest issue. Put the issues into context.
You can't blame him.
I never.
That's what you know what I hate to do on this platform is to, and this is not a personal attack or whatever. On a lighter note, I hate agreeing with Anthony.
But that is the reality. But that is the reality.
On this case, I actually agree with him.
But we're discussing oral, and I have a lot to say.
Yeah, we don't have time. We don't have time. Just quickly, that will be your final submission, and we'll wrap up because our time is really up.
Good.
Okay.
You know, the beauty about oral and what President Mahama wants to do and what must not be lost on us as a people is that the operation is Operation Recover or Loot, which is the line policy. But at the core of that is ensuring that we eventually get to a point where the gross disproportionate difference between the treatment of persons who now in Parliament, you hear Afenyo Makin describe themselves as a political class. A very unfortunate characterization of a certain group of people to seemingly suggest that they are above the law and above the rest of us. But then, the core of what we want to do with oral eventually is to ensure that this so-called class does not continue to enjoy in a highly unethical manner a gross disproportionate privilege relative to the rest of the people of this republic. And so when we talk about Operation Recover or Loot, we want to first take what has been taken unjustly from the people of Cantonment lands which would ordinarily be sold somewhere in millions of dollars.
CDs.
Sold, I even saying 5 million, 42,000 cedis
for 42,000
one MPPM.
Instead of 5 million
and all of that. What we should be doing is ensuring that that does not happen again. And if you see our manifesto on these issues of corruption, there would be a bill before Parliament barring politicians and politically exposed persons from acquiring state lands. We should begin to see oral in that perspective in terms of its policy objectives and what it intends to achieve. Also, we should begin to see oral as an issue that deals with the gaps within our legal system. Because there are a lot of things that people can do and tell you that, which law did I break? When you can see that this should not be happening. For example, if I buy cantonment land for 10,000 cedis, principles of law would tell you that sufficiency of consideration, that if the seller agrees that he is selling it to me at that amount, then I should go.
No crime.
But in this case, the seller is the state, the Republic of Ghana. The buyer is a person who is supposed to be acting on behalf of the state, because the state, for lack of better words, is like a corporate entity. It is not an individual. And there must be agents that act on behalf of. Then the agent takes what belongs to the state and says, I have transacted with the state, so it is mine. And there is no law that prevents that. But you can see that it is grossly unethical. So beyond issues of criminality and charging, convicting, and recovering monies from people, which President Mahama very much intends to do. You saw his directive on the NSS issue. Another gross abuse of office, thievery, theft, at heights that should not have happened. Beyond that is President Mohammed's effort to ensure that we close those ethical loopholes that actually cause people to rip this country off and are able to go free. Because strictly and legally speaking, there are so many ways people can actually rob this country and go. And that is what has been happening. And so oral should begin to be viewed from that perspective. We must treat oral as that so that we can have the results we want. If not, at the end of the day, we'll prosecute those who have been involved in the previous administration, recover the sums, and go full circle. To where we started from.
So let me touch on the oral report.
I'm sorry, but my time is up completely. It's 10 a.m. and we have to wrap up the show. My producers are about to come for my head. Unfortunately,
one second.
Oh no, unfortunately, I cannot give you that time. And thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming through. We have. Today we try, Sha.
Yeah,
we tried. I'm going to keep at this.
The timing should be consistent.
I'm going to keep at this. I promise you. I promise you, gentlemen. I'm sorry that you're not able to speak on the final. But Mr. Aryeetey, thank you so much. Also to you, Bright. Thank you so much for joining us. It's your first time, and so we'll be looking forward to you spending time with us.
I like him.
You do, right? Yeah, I can see that. And to you out there, thank you so much for being a part of the show. This is the AM Club. Or this has been the AM Club. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. I will see you again next week, Monday. We're back with bigger issues, and hopefully Bryce is able to make it here. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow. This has been the AM Club.